It's happened. News is breaking. Cristiano Ronaldo leaves Manchester United. Mr. Omundi Juma, this has been a rapid one. What have you got for me, kind sir?
Breaking news, Mr. B, breaking news. We don't miss a beat, do we, in the Man United agenda? So, breaking news is Cristiano Ronaldo is no longer a player at Manchester United. He is left by mutual agreement with immediate effect. The club thank him for his immense contribution over 2 spells at Old Trafford. So he's left. His contract has been terminated by mutual consent. Obviously, he scored a lot of goals, and the club wishes him and his family well for the future. This is read from the official announcement. Everyone at Manchester United remains focused on continuing the team's progress under Erik ten Hag and working together to deliver success on the pitch. The move comes after Portugal International slammed the club in an interview with Piers Morgan just before the World Cup, as we all know. Following conversations with Manchester United, we have mutually agreed to end our contract early. This is read a statement from the player himself. This is what he said. He says, "I love Manchester United and I love the fans. That will never change. However, it feels like the right time for me to go and seek a new challenge. I wish the team every success for the remainder of the season and for the future." So just to announce, no longer under contract, Ronaldo will be available now to sign for clubs as a free agent. So there you go, guys. That's the breaking news. Ronaldo is no more at Manchester United. Mr. B, how you feel about that, man? Wow.
Do you know what? I'm over the bloody moon. I'm over the moon. If it comes back and bites us on the arse or bites me on the arse, you know what? I hold up my hands and I thank you. Omundi, you run a football team. You know what it's like when you've got a character that riles everybody and pisses everybody off, regardless of their talent. So me, I'm happy. I said it. I've been saying it for a few months now. We play better when Ronaldo doesn't play. For a team, moving forward as a team, I'm glad he's gone. I would have liked to have ended in a much more sweeter way. He will always be a Man United legend in my eyes, you know. But like Ollie, things happen and time moves on. So, you know, what are you thinking?
I share your thoughts there, man. Time waits for no man. We have to move on as a club. I mean, after all this big kerfuffle with the interview, I thought that was disrespectful towards the club. And as you said, Mr. B, and I do agree with you a lot of the time, most of the time actually, you said this was his ploy to get out the club. And this is what's happened. He's got the result. And I hope it's not too complicated. It seems we've really done and dusted now. Hopefully that's it. There's no sort of further complications or anything like that. But I'm pleased because now we can move on, breathe a sigh of relief, and yeah, focus on the Ten Hag era. The man that has been disrespected. We need to move on as a club. Ronaldo's playing in the World Cup right now. He can showcase his talents to them because he hasn't been able to showcase his talents this season under Ten Hag. And he can, if he wants to prove that he's still got it, he's got an opportunity now with his national team. And the manager can play him in a role which he thinks is going to be effective for him. But he certainly, as you said, Mr. B, he wasn't very effective for us under Ten Hag, but he was effective for us last season. And in his first spell, he was sensational, won the Ballon d'Or. So we have to give thanks for him as a player, for what he's done to the club. But his second spell here, people say he should never go back to an ex, as you said. I'm quoting all your lines, Mr. B, I'm afraid. You're the one who you dropped this on the show, and I'm pirating your lyrics. But it's true. Everything you say is all true. Never go back. As Special Ed rapper would say, I'll never go back. Never go back. I just come fresh, start something new. So good luck to him. Obviously, we can find out now whether there are people interested in him. Because
bruv.
Yeah.
This is the part that I'm waiting to see. I want to know if there's a deal set up, if nothing's going on, if he hasn't got a club. Because let's be honest, we all know everybody who leaves Man United takes a pay cut. That's what we are. We're the cash cow. Whether clubs do it, whether players do it. I want to know where he's going. I mean, it could be Real Madrid. Benzema's out. He could do Real Madrid.
We've heard that, haven't we? Yeah.
He could do.
That was big news. 6 months he's out for.
I mean, look, I'll be honest. I'm glad he's gone. That negative energy was killing us. You know what I mean? I'm not really into all of the negative, the negative stuff. You know me, I just want to be smiling and happy more time. So, you know what?
So, Mr. B, what if he went to another Premiership club?
Don't care.
Think that's all? You don't care?
He's done. He's done. What threat is he going to be? We've had him. We've seen what he's been like. Unless if he goes somewhere else in the Prem and smashes it, then we know he didn't want to play. But he was trying. He's done, bruv. He's done. He ain't going to.
Do you still agree that there's only a certain amount of clubs that he can go to based on his wages? So in the Premiership, that'd be Man City, maybe Chelsea. Beyond that, you've got PSG, Real Madrid in Europe, and maybe Bayern Munich. Maybe. That's a maybe there. I'm not sure. So, yeah, it's quite limited for him, I reckon. Big up to Talk. Yeah, TalkMU. Just to add, TalkMU is the one who sort of gave me the phone call. It's like he's got his ear to the ground. He heard about this as soon as he came up with this.
Yeah, I love the cardigan Monday. It's quality that, bro. Nice. Yeah, no, it's nice. I could do one of them myself, bro, to be fair, because I tell you what, the only thing that's keeping me warm is the breaking news and these results in the World Cup, bro. I tell you. Honestly, I mean, you know where I stand on this Ronaldo thing. I mean, it's, you know, I'm finding it very difficult even now, all this time afterwards, to you know, kind of forgive him, because I know that's what people want to do. They want to forgive him for doing what he's done. Again, you know, there are positives from what he said, etc., as we've already discussed many times. But it's just I don't know. I go back to the question Mr. B asks, which is why, you know, why? What was the point of it? What was the point of it? You know what I mean? It's all a bit. So, but at the end of the day, I'm glad he's gone. Apparently, Man United have come out as well and said, I don't know if you read this on Monday, but Man United have come out and said that they wish him all the best, him and his family and everything else. So, you know what? Listen, it is what it is. But the question we've got to ask ourselves now is, with this being done so quickly, what sort of input has Erik Ten Hag had in this? Or is this just, do you think, come straight from the top, Joel Glazer and Murto and...
Well, I think it's a support of confidence. It's a vote of confidence towards the manager, because if the manager's been disrespected and he allows this guy to get away with it, that doesn't speak highly about the board, how they look. They're respecting the manager here, and this is how it should be. The manager comes first before the players. He's the one who's signed with the job of managing the team. Just two factors that I really think about here is that, has Ronaldo tarnished his reputation by doing this? What is the overall feel about him going on Piers Morgan? Because like Mr. B said, again, I'm quoting him, he's got 500 million people on Instagram, more than the club itself. So a lot of people will know about this. And what do they think about that? Does that tarnish his reputation? Does that make him like untouchable? He talks about being bulletproof and all that kind of thing, untouchable in that way. But I also think it makes him now limited. I think who really wants to touch him? No one really wants to touch him with a barge pole. And also, not just that, about his behind the scenes, he says, I can say what I want when I want. Who wants a rogue player like that? And not just that, it's his ability as well. It's waning. I mean, it's going down. His stats are going down year by year. And as you can see on the pitch, his performance is going down. He can't even get to Man United teams in the Europa League and who are struggling to fight for top four.
Plus, also on Monday, the fact that maybe, just maybe, any club that is serious club that's in the Champions League, they've got to think about what they've already got. And are they going to seriously mess that up and go, we're going to cause a problem in our dressing room here, in our squad, just to bring this guy in? And you know what, to be fair, it ain't guaranteed goals, in my opinion, just because, again, when I made the point that, you know, his confidence and all the blahs or whatever, then he came out with the line that, oh, my headspace wasn't right, that's why I wasn't scoring. It's like, nah. You know what I mean? It's a similar thing. He's playing on it. And you know what? For me, I don't see any serious... I don't know. I've seen something linked with the Serie A link. Now, whoever that could be, I'm not too sure. But unless it's a team that are a little bit cash rich at the moment and they haven't really got any sort of players in the squad that would be upset by him arriving, I don't know. We can only surmise. But any serious clubs surely are going to stay way clear of him.
Yeah, most certainly. It's you know what? It's a thing. Look, we have to reflect. Maybe in the future we do a little piece on his impact at Man United and what he's done. But like you say, and I think it's going to be hard for many clubs to sort of fit him in based on these two things that he's done recently: his poor form and his ability to go and disrupt things as he's done at Manchester United. And even though on the surface people be wanting to shake his hand and talk highly about him, but behind the scenes, behind his back, like we are, because you don't listen to us, but we are talking about him behind his back, saying he's a bad apple. And I'm sure that would be taken into consideration if he is to move on. Just to add quickly, if we there's a void now at Manchester United for a striker, which we do need. But we have overspent, haven't we? We overspent in the summer with Casemiro and with Anthony as well. So does that leave? Has the well run dry when we desperately need someone to come and fill that void?
I'll ask a question. Sorry, Mr. B.
The club, before I go this, the club will give Ten Hag money in January. Ten Hag didn't sack Ronaldo. The club sacked Ronaldo. As much as Ronaldo was a pain in the ass, he was a threat on the pitch. Less of a threat than it was this season, granted. Guys, I want to big all you guys up on Monday. I'm going to leave it for you and Talk to finish it up here. Listen, I noticed that Solo isn't on. He's going to be at home crying his eyes out because we know he's a Ronaldo lover. So look, with that, I'm going to leave it. Guys, gents, represent the agenda. Guys in the chat, big up for joining and share the hell out of this one, guys.
Thank you, Mr. B.
Yeah, I'm big up, bro.
Bye.
I'm on there and the chat. Let me just answer this question. Do you think this could be a good thing for Ten Hag in the dressing room now? Do you think there'll be some relief amongst some of the other players that, whoa, great, now then, and maybe Ten Hag might just say, you know what, actually, wait, yeah, if there's money to spend, great, but if there isn't, it ain't no big deal till the summertime, because I believe in Rashford, I believe in Martial if we keep him fit, I believe in Garnacho, there could be a better effect here on the squad. Do you agree?
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, there's a saying that people, as for the players, because his presence alone brings a lot of pressure, and we've seen that with in previous clubs as well. And it's like there's a saying about having a monkey on your back, but in my opinion, it's like having a cheeky monkey on your back. This cheeky monkey's got the nerve to talk about himself, say I can say what I want, I do what I want. I talk about the manager, I go and Piers Morgan, I trash people, I trash former players who are really good players, like you were saying about Rooney. I've seen your tweets. Talk, and I thoroughly agree with you about Rooney being a legend of the club. He's trashing all these guys, and so he does what he wants. I do what I want. I remember there's a Cartman from South Park saying, I do what I want, I do what I want. That's the sort of attitude he's been having lately. So he's a cheeky monkey, and I'm sure the players will be relieved, especially players like Harry Maguire, who I think has been undermined by him. His form has been sort of downhill last season while Ronaldo was there, because he was the captain, and he suddenly felt, there's a hierarchy here. How can I talk to Ronaldo? How can I tell him off? How can I order him around? He's not having it, and he can create this kind of like undermine me in my own club. While and maybe that has affected his form. And other players as well can breathe again now. They've had the experience. They've been around someone who's good, like Garnacho. I'm sure he's had great experience being around Ronaldo. A lot of players as well. But overall, they can breathe again and start to feel themselves and play with that bit of freedom, I believe. Because I think it's kind of suffocating Ronaldo's days. All eyes on you. We know what happened when he first arrived. There was stories straight away about, no custard and dessert, or Luke Shaw eating crumble and that kind of thing. So you see what I'm saying? It does have an effect. It's like when your boss or your head teacher walks in the room and you feel quiet, and as soon as he leaves, you go, oh God, we can breathe again. So I think that will be positive from some of the players. Do you agree?
Yeah, 100%. I was just going to say, with what point you made there, like when you're mentioning Garnacho, I don't see Garnacho, even if Ronaldo is an idol of Garnacho's got his own career to focus on. He's got his own legendary status to create at our club. So there may well be a little bit of a bit of sadness, like a bit, you know what, he's gone. But you know what, I've got to focus now, because one thing's for sure, Garnacho's tail will be right up now on alert, because he'll know himself, whoa, okay, this changes things now. I've been getting started. I've been doing well. All Garnacho's got to do now is forget about Ronaldo, focus on himself, focus on working with Rashford, Martial, Jadon Sancho. I mean, I don't know what's quite happening with Jadon Sancho. I mean, is it too far to go to say that maybe Sancho was affected by Ronaldo as well, and that's why we've not got the Sancho that we been expecting.
That's a good suggestion. We can only speculate, but that's a good suggestion, isn't it? I do agree. We have to look into this. These are factors that could well play a part in a lot of people's form.
Yeah, because if there's clicks, we know clicks, at clubs. So if Jadon Sancho's got a click with Rashford, got a click with Martial, or even with Harry Maguire or whoever, and then like you're saying, Ronaldo comes along and it's all about it's the Ronaldo show. Oh, I'm this and I'm that, and I'm going to start doing this. You've got to start doing that, and it's all a bit it can have that effect on you, and your confidence can take knocks in many different ways, can't it?
Well, let's look at the evidence, TalkMU. I mean, look, he's disrespected Jamie Carragher in public. He's disrespected. He went on to disrespect Gary Neville. He disrespected the manager in public by walking off against Spurs. You see what I'm saying? So he's got that ability to be that bully, and you're in awe. So he's that sort of guy. When he walks in the room, he knows I've arrived. He's got a presence and that kind of thing. And it can be intimidating. It can sort of stop people being themselves or stop people's flow. Do you understand what I'm saying? A bit like you when you come on the show. I feel a bit intimidated. I mean, the talk's going to run. Why cracking talk? You go crack some jokes. I'm joking, but you know what I mean. When someone comes along who's got a bigger presence than you and can sort of really overwhelm you in a way, and I think that's a great suggestion. It's worth talking about Sancho and other players. Garnacho, for one reason, that means another slot. There's like a hierarchy to get into the first team. Someone's cleared out. He's got a slot now to get in. He's more further up the list. Sancho as well. I do think he's been affected by Ronaldo somehow because they're saying about attitude problems. Ronaldo's probably the one highlighting it. I'm at training first. I'm professional, and he's highlighting other people not doing so well. People need freedom. People need to enjoy themselves. People need to be laid back. I know Sergio Aguero was sort of playing a hazard as well. They wouldn't warm up. They wouldn't do well in training. Everyone's got their own way of performing. Ronaldo has got a high level performance, and he might reflect badly on other players around him, make other players look bad. But you've got to do what's good for you. And if Sancho's one of these players who does what he feels is good for him to make him feel more relaxed and whatever, then and to get the best out of his performance, then so be it. And I just think his presence alone will be missed in some ways by standards, but also it will let other players breathe again, and we might start seeing true form from players who've dropped form recently.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think with Sancho, for example, just maybe then with what you said there, how we got this conversation. It's a case of I want to do things at my pace, not your pace. You're coming in here flying 100 miles an hour. I don't want to. I can't, and I don't want to do it like that. That's not how I work. So, and again, that can have, like you say, a negative effect on your confidence. You start asking yourself questions: Am I training enough? Am I doing the right things in training? Blah blah blah. And once that happens, when you're away from the happy place you was in your previous club doing well, you come to a new club. Of course, there's going to be some changes, but then on top of that, you get added this kind of new conundrum of this thing in Ronaldo, causing you all kinds of mental problems, because it is a mental problem with that, that weight around your shoulders. Not only a massive club in Man United on a huge contract, expected to perform, you've now got to deal with, this huge, massive ego in the dressing room, in the training pitch. So I'm hoping that maybe, just maybe, Jadon Sancho right now is having a glass of wine or something. Happy days now, and you're back in training under Ten Hag and saying, you know what, boss, do you want to see the Jadon Sancho you saw at Dortmund? Now I'm going to show you. And do you know what? How fabulous would that be? Because as it stands right now, let me ask you this. Obviously, I think I won't ask you because I know the answer. To be fair, if Rashford is fit and Martial's fit, Martial's starting through the middle. Do you agree?
Yeah. I think that's his favourite. I think now with what we've got, I think that'd be his best position for the team, for the sake of the team. Yeah.
But if he isn't, if Martial isn't fit, we know it's going to be Rashford for now until January. So getting us, through the World Cup, if we hear that there's money to be spent, obviously we're all going to be rubbing our hands together and thinking, who can it be? Is it going to be Gakpo? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that, or whatever? But again, depending on the amount that's available, people are going to go like, no, as soon as I mention this name. But for me, to get us to the summertime, with the way, because I know Erik ten Hag likes the kind of player that he is, Alexander Mitrovic for me would be fantastic, because he can do, he can do precisely what Harry Maguire was trying to do when he brought him on. Got the ball down, not the play on. He can do that. And not only that, he can score goals, as we've seen for Fulham. He's a dangerous player, big unit as well. And for 20 million quid around abouts, that's what his market value is right now. For me, that'd be fantastic business for United till the summertime, when we don't have to go rushing in the January window for a Gakpo or whatever. You know what I mean?
It's interesting that, I mean, you've sort of previously, I know, by listening to you, you've identified what sort of striker we need. We've had these discussions before. And Mitrovic is, even though he's not really sort of got the sort of stock of a Ronaldo to fill his boots, so to speak, he is someone who could do a decent job. I do agree. He gives defenders a hell of a time, you know, when he's up there with his physicality, his movement, his strength, and his attitude as well. He's got great mentals. He's a real winner, isn't he? A real bulldog. There's other options as well. The guy from Bayern Munich, the Cameroonian international, he's 33. That's sort of like a stopgap. It just depends now. This is something we really need to sort of look into. But can I just ask you, Todd? I mean, do we actually need a striker? We've got Garnacho, we've got Sancho, we've got Rashford and Martial both playing in the middle, and we've got Anthony on the left. That's 5 guys for 3 positions. You want 2 guys in each position, and then you could throw in someone like bring back someone from on loan, or throw in Charlie McNeil to make the 6. Is that enough to get us in the top 4? I'm not sure. But was Ronaldo really contributing that much? Anyway, I mean, he only played 90 minutes, I think, and the odd sort of sub appearance here and there. So he wasn't really contributing that much. Can we get away with not signing anyone in January?
Well, it's a good question, that, because I always just use the word value. So what's the value for Ten Hag and the club right now in going out and spending X amount on a stopgap? Or is there more value in Erik Ten Hag saying to the board, hold the phone, no, we don't, I don't need to. If don't go out buying anyone just yet, because we're not going to get the right man who I want in the summertime. And in the meantime, I've got faith that Marcus, Martial, Garnacho, Sancho, Anthony, and maybe Charlie McNeil coming from the academy. I've got enough confidence. Alanga. Sorry, I forgot about that. Sorry, Anthony. There's enough there for me to get us on. Because what we don't want to do on Monday is try and jump ahead of our natural progression, shall we say? Because that can have its own problems, can't it? As we've seen before in other clubs, in our club. I think if we let the process continue in its current phase now, in where we've been heading, with let's just think about this for a moment. How well we've been doing, even with the fact that we have had Ronaldo in there causing all these problems. We've still been getting decent performances and results. So now that's all gone. For me, I just think, Ten Hag will be just so pleased. I'm sure he'll wish him all the best in a professional way. I'm sure all the rest of the players will be in touch with him and say, look, thanks, Cristiano, you're a legend, you're this, you're that, good luck, all the best. But I think there will be a real big air of relief at Manchester United right now, in my opinion.
So just to wind up again, for anyone jumping on late, the news has been confirmed that Man United confirmed that Cristiano Ronaldo has left the club after his contract has been terminated by mutual consent. And there was a statement from the team saying from the club, stated they wish him and his family well for the future. Everyone at Man United remains focused on continuing the team's progression under Erik Ten Hag and working together to deliver success on the pitch. The move comes after Portugal internationals publicly slammed the club in the interview with Piers Morgan before the World Cup. And following conversations with Man United, we have mutually agreed to end our contract early. Read a statement from the player himself. So that's from Ronaldo, the man himself. So he wishes us all success for the remainder of the season. Thanks, Ronaldo. It's been a hell of a ride, hasn't it, Talk? But it's all au revoir to Ronaldo now.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a shame that it had to end the way it ended, but that was his choice. You know what? I keep thinking about it, really, and I keep thinking to myself, if only he'd have gone and done that interview, right, and not mentioned anything about Ten Hag or mentioned anything about the other players, and totally kept it about the structure of the club, and kind of, because he could have led to certain areas by answering questions. But maybe he's just not that. I'll say it. I'm not bothered. Maybe he's not that clever. Maybe he's not clever enough to use English well enough to kind of lead a question in a certain direction.
I think it was scripted. Everyone's got what they wanted here. He's probably made the interview to get to this result where he can leave the club in some way, and the club are probably happy that he's left as well now as well. Less wages, less trouble. You talk about merchandising, shirt sales. I think that goes out the window. It's all about the club and the squad, as the statement states here, because it's interesting when they say in Man United Football Club state clearly, we are focused on continuing team progress under Erik ten Hag and working together to deliver success on the pitch. So that's the main focus here. Team progression under ten Hag, and with that comes good coaching and success on the pitch. So without Ronaldo, that's what we're going to continue to do, and I think that's a great statement from the team as well, from the club in support of the manager after he's been brutally attacked, I believe, on national TV and all over the world.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it's this is where Erik ten Hag now is. He can prove that it's nothing to do. And it doesn't really need to prove, in my opinion. It's nothing to do with ten Hag. This was all about the attitude and application of Cristiano Ronaldo. Something that goes right back to youth level. That's the two golden rules. Said it right from the start of when we first started this channel. Attitude and application are key in a player's progression, no matter what age you're at. So he chose to do what he did. He chose to behave how he behaved. He chose to let things that weren't really such a big deal sort of build up in his own mind and become a bigger problem than they actually were, to affect his ability to play. That's what we're being led to believe. But I just think it was never really going to be like as the fairy tale ending that we all thought it was going to be. He's 38 nearly, so you're talking about Premier League here, which is, as we know, very unforgiving, very fast paced, and everything else. So, like I say, listen, Ronaldo's gone. Long live Ronaldo. Garnacho now. Bring through Garnacho and let us see other players as well, like Marcus Rashford. If there isn't a striker and he has to go playing up front between him and Martial when Martial's injured or whatever, then let's just hope that there's plenty of goals can be scored.
Yeah, glory, Man United. That's right. Yeah. And I hope all our players in the World Cup, as we saw Hannibal today as well for Tunisia, they got good result against Denmark, against Ericsson. So we continue to watch our players strive under this big spotlight in this so-called big World Cup. And we support all our guys playing for Man United and playing in the World Cup right now. So, yeah, from the Man United agenda, this has been breaking news. As we said, we've been building up for this for the last week or so, covering every little angle with this Ronaldo story, and it's come to an end. And we close that book and say goodbye to one of the best players in world football. And his relationship with Manchester United is finally over. So there you go. I haven't got control of this ship. TalkMU, so over to you.
Yes.
And we will say good night.
Yeah, thanks for joining, everybody. It was a quick one because we just got the news out of the blue. I see everybody's in. Matty McMatterface, Football United TV, Emma K, Yank Talking Smack, Mr. B. Let me just have a quick scroll before I go. Matthew Bassett, MUFC now, Kane, Big G. We see you, Emma K. We see you, everybody. Solo, Andrew Williams, Blue Moon Ian, Jackie. There's loads of people. We just,
you know what? Big up all you guys, man. Thanks for tuning in and share the show as well. This is breaking news. And let us know your thoughts about it. What do you think about all this? Now he's gone. We don't need to whisper anymore. He's gone. We can speak freely.
Yeah. But just always, just say what you want. Get it in there. Get in the comments afterwards, folks, and let us know what you think. Just don't hold back. But you know what? Listen, it's a good early evening from me, and it's a good early evening for Monday. But don't forget, we will be back at 8:30 tonight with another show. What's it about? So
we're talking about loan guys coming into the club. I think that's going to be second fiddle to this big story now. So probably part 2 of the Ronaldo saga.
Well, if you want to hear more about this, folks, tune in at 8:30 because I'm sure there will be more voices to air their opinions as well. So until then, thanks very much for joining. Big respect, and you know what to do, folks. Stay united. Ciao.
Bye-bye.